What's up, everybody? It's DingDongPwns coming at you with my final impressions of the Star Wars Battlefront beta. I'm just going to go through some pros and cons and what I would like to see in the final game. Just based on what I played in the beta, I played about maybe 10 to 15 hours of the beta over the weekend, which doesn't seem like a lot, but most of the games only last maybe 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes, so get quite a bit of gameplay in here. So right away, we'll jump into the pros, which I'll go through them one by one. Number one, it's Star Wars. It's Battlefront. Anybody that's a fan of the Battlefront series, played them way back, understands how this game is supposed to be played, and it's Star Wars. You get to play Luke Skywalker, Darth Vader. I'm sure you're going to be able to play Boba Fett and a whole heap of other people, so it's going to be freaking fun. Another pro, the game mechanics and controls felt very fluid. The only thing that I found is you had to up your sensitivity. I upped it to 40 to 50%, and after that I felt a little more fluid. I felt that all the controls worked well. The flying, I'm not great at any flying games, so regardless, I'm not going to bash on the flying because I suck. Whenever I went into an X-wing, a TIE fighter, TIE interceptor, whatever it was, I maybe got one kill and then I would just crash into something. So the third thing, the jetpack, it's pretty cool. Adds a little verticality to the game. Um, it doesn't feel too controlish. You just jump pack away, but you can get to some places that give you an edge, give you line of sight, stuff like that. The fourth one, air battles were pretty cool. Like I said, once I got into a plane, I'm not the best, but it was pretty fun. The only downside is if I'm getting shot at and I'm taking damage, if I end up crashing, it just counts as a suicide. It's not counting as a kill for the other guy. That's something that I feel is kind of cheap and shouldn't be in the game. It should count if I'm doing damage to someone and they crash, or if someone's doing damage to me and I crash, they should get the kill regardless. And fifth and final one, the power-ups on the battlefield felt useful. If you're getting the vehicle turrets, the infantry turrets, the blast cannons, you place those down, they're actually doing damage to the infantry, to the AT-ATs, to the AT-STs, you name it. And the higher ones, the TIE Fighter, the AT-AT, the AT-STs, Luke Skywalker, Darth Vader, you only have 12 seconds to decide if you're going to use it or not. And the other thing there is it takes about 3 seconds to call it out, and you're vulnerable for those 3 seconds. So if you get the Luke Skywalker, I've had this happen to me. I thought I was safe. I go to activate it, and I just get shot dead. It's wasted. It felt very, very good to keep it that way, so you're not invincible. Invincible, sorry. So those are the pros. All in all, the game's pretty good so far. I heard about the season pass. I don't care about that. Season passes nowadays, you're just gonna get all the DLC and stuff like that. Whatever. If you buy on your own, it's probably gonna cost you 10, 15 bucks more. So it is what it is. I don't mind it. I'll probably pick it up depending on the final game. I have this game pre-ordered, so I'm just gonna play it right away, and I'm gonna see how the modes play out, if there's multiple maps, stuff like that, before I decide if I get the season pass or not. Plus, Fallout's coming out, COD is coming out, Halo's coming out. There's quite a few games that are coming out, so I don't know if I'll get it, but it all depends on how much I like this game. So now on to the cons. There's not a lot, but the 5 most important ones that I found. Number one, the hero starts way too far back. When you activate it, you're probably nowhere near the battle, and it's going to take you about 20-30 seconds to get to people. And what happens is you constantly lose health. So if you're 20 seconds away, by the time you're actually getting into battle, you're at 80% health. And at that point, people are starting to shoot you. You're going down quicker. So it sucks in a sense sometimes, especially on the uh, final rush point of the Walker assault, where it's just an open field. You have multiple turrets shooting at you. You have people sniping. The Darth Vader can go down, or the Luke Skywalker could go down even before you get a kill. Happened to my buddy Vic7GPN. He got Darth Vader, he started running, and he just got absolutely destroyed. The second one is spawns. You'll see in this gameplay where I literally can spawn camp people. I show one of my buddies, Smetty, he's in this game as well, where to go, especially on the second tier. You can go into the hangar, someone can hang back, just hide in the corner in the dark spot, and the other one could go into where the blaster cannon is near the uplink, and if one of you dies, you just spawn on the next one, stuff like that. So, and they just start spawning there. It is like, I think, a 2-second spawn protection, but if you're just running out and you're not noticing that someone's behind you, it doesn't matter, you're gonna die. I would like to see you be able to pick where your spawns, so you're not always spawning in the same spot, but it is what it is. I would have liked to see another mode. This is number 3, just because I got bored of Walker Assault. I got bored of Drop Zone. You know, after a while, it's the same thing over and over. Doesn't pique my interest. If there was a third mode, you could rotate, or even a different map, something to just keep your interest in the beta. Number 4, the weapons. Now, I didn't feel any difference except for that LMG type weapon, but the 3 main blasters just all felt the same. Didn't really feel too much difference. So I hope that either A, there's more weapons in it, or B, they tweak them to just feel better depending on what you equip. The 5th one, and the final con that I found, if you weren't with a partner, or when you jump into a game and it didn't pick one for you, your spawns absolutely sucked. What would happen is you would spawn nowhere near the battle, you would have to run 20-30 seconds, and by that time you could get sniped, you can get shot at, you can get turreted. If you're on the rebels, you can get orbital strike, you can get hit by an AT-ST, AT-AT, you name it. And then you just spawn back and then have to run up and spawn back and have to run up. So it's not too bad, but you know, I would like how Battlefield is, where you can join squads if you want. If the squad wants to be private, you can do it, but if they're open, jump on in, and then, like I said earlier, you can spawn on anybody you want. Now, just my final thoughts. Hopefully in the final game, EA and DICE are gonna make it feel more like Battlefield, like I just mentioned in the con, where if you're in a squad of 3 or more, you know, you can spawn on anybody you like. You can join squads, you don't have to be solo. It feel much better, and even if it's squads of 5 or 8, in the case where you could have a party of 8, you know, you'd be able to spawn on anybody you want. I know it might seem a little cumbersome in the spawning section, but if they could do it with Battlefield, I don't see why they can't do it with Battlefront. Next point is, if you're in a party of 3 or more, there's no way to know who's on the map or where they are on the map. The only person you can see is your partner. The partner shows up yellow, but if you have 4 people in your squad or in your party and they're all in the game, you don't know where those other 2 guys are. Make them green, make them just a slight different color, or make them all yellow, just so I can see where they are, because sometimes, you know, we're all communicating, and if someone's getting shot at and he's not my partner, I have no idea where they're coming from. So just something like that. The last one, I hope there's more maps or more modes. You know, if it's only the 8 modes and each mode only has the 1 map, I don't think this game is going to last too long. I hope that they can switch it up. You know, even though there's rebels and imperials, stuff like that, it doesn't. If it's the same map, then it just gets boring. I understand like Walker Assault, it is Hoth. You know, that's when the AT-ATs are coming. So stuff like that, but I don't see why Drop Zone can't have like 5 or 6 maps on its own. Maybe the air battles squadron, I think it is, might have 3 or 4 maps. If it can give you a lot of different maps, even if it's in the same mode, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna last. It's gonna be fun. People are gonna play it a lot, especially because you know Halo's out soon, Fallout's out soon, COD is out soon. This really has to stand out, and during the beta, it is standing out, but right now I don't feel like it's going to up the ante against the other big three. Who knows once it comes out? You know, it is made by DICE, so I have complete faith in DICE. Graphics, you know, everybody wants to see it in 1080. I don't care. I care about gameplay, and I care about, you know, story mode, but this obviously won't have a story. But in most games, I don't care about graphics too much. Story is more that piques my interest. Like I can go back to playing Morrowind. Everybody knows how awful Morrowind looks now, but I could go back and play Morrowind probably for another 100, 200 hours and be more interested in it than, say, COD or even Halo sometimes. So that's my thoughts. You know, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for listening. And as always, like, comment, and subscribe.
An uplink station has been taken over by the rebels. We must deactivate it in order to stop a Y-wing attack.
Deactivated their uplink. Y-wing has locked onto our walker. Rebels headed our way.
Rebel uplink has been turned off. The rebels have activated an uplink station. We must shut it down. Take control of that uplink. Without it, the rebels won't be able to provide air support in time. Rebel airstrike incoming.
Our AT-AT won't be exposed for long.